Hey guys, welcome back to Inbox Model Kit Review number 2. This is going to be my very first ever Kinetic model. Certainly, obviously, my first ever Kinetic Gold model. And honestly, this is the first F-16 that I've built in 1/48 scale in probably 30 plus years. Literally. I have recently built 1/72nd scale F-16s, but yeah, I have not touched a 1/48 scale F-16 since probably a monogram kit that I built way back in the 80s, I would imagine. And I haven't built a 1/32nd scale kit of the F-16 probably since then. And I remember that kit, actually both kits, the 132 scale and the 1/48 scale, were in the original red, white, and blue General Dynamics libraries. So literally old kits. But anyways, I'm super excited for this one. This is Kinetic Gold's kit number K48105. Decals printed by Caracal, which are, as you folks probably know, some of the best decal printers on, I think, the planet. Caracal and Furball actually are my two favorite decal manufacturers, period. Decals designed by Fightertown Decals, and it's Magfire compatible, which I don't think Kinetic has released any of their Magfire stuff yet, but basically what it is it's, well, it says right here. Compatible with Magfire Magnetic Firepower, Kinetic's interchangeable modern weapons set. So, yeah, you can literally change around the weapons on it, which is something I wouldn't do to begin with. Model features, might as well check that out while we're here. Positional flaps and slats. New engraving technology for crisp panel lines. And laser engravings for structural super detail, which is really nice because, I mean, as you guys have seen, I've been mostly building old monogram and Revell kits, so I've been working with raised panel lines, and I'm super excited to get something that's much more modern. Full detail cockpit, full intake, super detail, MLG and NLG bay. I already read the compatible with the Magfire stuff. Weapon includes fuel tank, which I think actually it has 3. We'll see when we open this up. I think it's got the center line, plus the 2 fuel tanks on the inboard pylons for the wings. AIM 9MX, AIM 120B or C, AIM 7X, GBU 12, which those are the bombs, of course, GBU 49, GBU 24, 31, 38, and then here's all of your targeting pods. AAQ 13, 14, blah, 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 as you can read right there. Looks like they have stock photos of the 3D rendering of the model itself. And, of course, just some basic information on the F-16, probably primarily the F-16C and D. Yeah, a little bit of stuff there. This is designed to be either a Block 30, 40, or 50 aircraft. Which I think is really awesome because that includes parts for both the wide-mouth General Electric intake and the smaller mouth Pratt & Whitney engine, which I think is really cool. I mean, again, when they say it's for Block 30, 40, or 50, they are quite serious about that. Over here we have the 3 decal options. Got something there for Misawa Air Force Base from 2006, Cannon Air Force Base 2004, and Kusan Air Force Base in 2006. Now, I actually bought some special decals that I will show at the end here for this, which is the primary reason why I wanted to get the 2-seat D model. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this sucker open with my dull X-Acto knife. Ah, fresh model. Very nice. Alright, right off the top here, we've got some crystal clear canopies. And clear parts in general. There's for the D model there, the 2-seat version. And it also includes the canopy for the C version. So, there you go. And they have several different versions. Kinetic Gold does. They have the C version, which I actually might build next. They've got an MLU version, NATO version. They've got a ton of different versions of this F-16, which is pretty nice. So we got lower fuselage, we got upper parts to above the engine there. And I see a whole bunch of optional parts here. which I absolutely love to death. It's always fun to have options. Okay, top of the fuselage, cockpit tub. And then here's the first version of the engine. Not sure if that's the Pratt & Whitney or if that's the General Electric. But I'm sure we will find out. I think this is the General Electric. This right here would be the narrow mouth or small mouth Pratt & Whitney. Yeah, looks like it. And some weapons and targeting pods. Auxiliary fuel tanks. Ejection seats. Good old Aces 2 ejection seats. Very nice detail there, including the static diffusers on the very end there. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Let's check out the decals first. So we've got some pretty nice decals for the cockpit. Actually, those are really nicely detailed. And I'm sure with some microsol and microset, I'll be able to get those to fit quite nicely around the details in the cockpit. Very cool. And this looks like it's mostly just for the weapons. Yeah. Weapon data. Incredibly detailed. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, again, whenever I open up a modern kit like this, it's just the detail blows me away because I'm so used to working on those older Revell and Monogram kits and AMT kits and what have you that I see stuff like that and it's like, holy crap. I can make a nicely detailed kit. Set this off to the side. And let's check out the instructions. Another little blurb here about the F-16 itself. All of the different parts on sprues. And color callouts, including for the different paint manufacturers. It's got MO MIG, Vallejo, Tamiya, which I use mostly, Humbrol, Mr. Color, which that's pretty nice. For color profile, please go to kineticmodel.com for download. Type the kit number and go for manual painting guide. That's pretty cool. Alright, cockpit instructions, obviously pretty straightforward, but fair amount of detail. Main landing gear, front of the engine intake assembly, exhaust assembly, nose gear, and it shows here that that needs to be removed if you're doing the block 30 or 40, which I'll have to remove that because I'm doing a block 42, I think it's a block 42H model. Crazy how it looks like they just printed this out on a copier, which I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Because these instructions are, either way, still pretty nice. Very nice detail. And then, of course, block 30 versus block 40 and block 50 main landing gear. I believe, if I remember correctly, the block 30 had thicker, strengthened landing gear. And block 40 and 50 aircraft had a thinner, slightly lightweight, more lightweight main landing gear. More details for the block 40 and 50 versus the block 30. Fairly well detailed Aces 2 ejection seats. And it also comes with the ability to leave the nose open, which is pretty nice. If you want to, you can display the radar, which honestly, I'm not going to do that. I will just show it as closed. Nicely detailed static diffusers on the rudder. Horizontal stabilizers. And you can do optional flaps up or flaps down. Lots of fun assembling pylons and weapons / targeting pods. Let's see, so we got the AIM-9M, AGM-88, which, if I remember correctly, that I think is the HARM, but I'm not like 100% sure on that. The anti-radiation missile. AIM-9X, of course, which is the latest version of the Sidewinder. 370-gallon fuel tank, which is the bags that go on the wings. And then that's the centerline tank. AM120s, which is the AMRAMs. GBU 12s. Yeah. ASQ 213 harm targeting system pod. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure those were harms. And a really neat guide to show you where the external stores go, which that is a really cool detail. That's awesome. Painting guide for all of your weapons, and of course shows the ammo MIG color. So let's say like here the GBU 31 ammo MIG 237 for the main body, which that's the JDAM, and ammo MIG 237 also translates into XF62 for the Tamiya colors. So that is a really handy, nice cross-reference. I won't have to obsess over researching it as much as I usually do, although to be fair, I probably will, because that's what I do, is obsess over stuff. And then we have the decal placement, which again, I'm doing different decals. I'll show you that at the end here, but whew, man, I don't know. The version that I'm going to do is going to be pretty awesome. And then, of course, all of the different stencils for the 30, 40, to 50 block. Very cool. Very detailed. Love the cross-reference. Again, this is my very first Kinetic model, and I am extremely pleased with how well detailed just the instruction manual is, and how much research goes into that. Now let's see what we've got here. God, that is very nice. All of these small details. Don't see a short shot yet in the molding. Here's your harm targeting pods, jammers, other assorted goodies. And looks like this is probably another sprue that's identical to the first one here. That's just easier for them to do it that way, even though you're going to have extra wheels and such. That way they could have the 2 bags for the wings and the 2 ejection seats. And we've got harms, JDAMs, GBUs. Very cool, unreal detail. Again, coming from building Revell and old monogram kits from the 70s and 80s, this detail is mind-blowing to me right now. And here is one of the intake setups. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the Pratt & Whitney engine. I believe the GE is on the primary, or on the bigger sprue over there. Pretty sure that's the narrow mouth. Let's see. Let's see if we can actually look at it and tell. Well, actually, I might be wrong. This one looks like it's not quite as white as this one, so perhaps this is the General Electric engine. Either way, we'll figure it out. Yeah, really nice panel lines and rivet detail. Man, that's nice. So much easier to weather, too, than all those older kits with the raised panel lines. I ain't gonna lie, I hate raised panel lines. And if I wasn't so lazy, you know, I would just go through and sand off all the raised panel lines and re-engrave. I have an engraving tool, I have a rivet tool, but, you know, everything for me lately is pretty much just enjoying the build. Not quite like the old days where I would sit there and take literally over a year to build a kit just to make sure I had every single bit of detail I possibly could on it. Yeah, even the main gear doors, the difference between the Block 30 and the Block 40-50. That is so cool. And there is the Block 30 gear right there, the thicker gear, and there is the Block 40-50. thinner gear. And of course, same concept with the gear struts. That is so awesome. Also, before I get too much further in this, I want to thank everybody who has recently subscribed to the channel. You guys are awesome. And obviously, I'm going to try to see how long it takes me to get to 1,000 subs, which means that I'll be able to monetize this channel so that I'll have this channel plus Coin Snobs and make this a little bit more of a long-term gig, because I enjoy it. I enjoy showing this stuff to you guys, and I enjoy bringing you guys along for the adventure. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Totally free. Best way to support this channel. Help me get up to 1,000 subs, which would be super sweet. And once I get up to 1,000 subscribers, you know, I'll do the usual stuff, like I'll do a model kit giveaway or something. I'll figure something out that the community's really into, and I like doing giveaways. Same thing with the Coin Snobs channel that me and Keith do. It's great hearing from you guys, and it's great getting feedback, positive or negative, and it's amazing to build a little community and to expand on communities that are already existing. For the most part, everybody that we've encountered has been extremely friendly. Yeah, that is so neat. I do love me some options. And again, rivet detail and panel line engraving is absolutely amazing. Shaft and flare canister dispensers. Very super sweet. Centerline fuel tank. Very nice. Lots of very nice small parts. That right there, I believe, is an oxygen bottle that goes inside of the main landing gear. I mean, the detail there is absolutely amazing. If I remember correctly, I bought this from Squadron, selling through eBay. They actually sent me a special offer to buy the kit for, I believe, including shipping, $60. Somewhere right around $60 out the door, and I couldn't say no to it. Because again, you know, knowing me, I would get one of those old Monogram or Revelk 132nd or 148 scale kits and get mad about the fact that I couldn't super detail it, or it came with crap detail, or again, raised panel lines. When I could just get something like this and thoroughly enjoy the build. Not that I hate those vintage kits, obviously. I mean, I build the crap out of them, but it's nice to do something modern once in a while. And some crystal clear canopy glass. Super awesome. I believe this kit came out in 2023, which before that, I think that the last D model F-16 that you could get in 148 scale was, I think it was a Hasegawa kit. And that's from like 20 or 30 years ago, which, I mean, Hasegawa has some pretty decent detail. And of course, there's a crap ton of aftermarket parts for all the Hasegawa kits, but it's kind of nice to have a new tooling for the D. Alright, there is that super beautiful kit. Now let's move on to the aftermarket decals that I got. Boom. Caracal, which is also another good decal manufacturer. And decals printed by Cartograph, so actually don't need to worry too much about that. Copyright 2023, so it looks like this was specifically for the new Kinetic kit. And the reason why I wanted to get this particular decal set for the D model is out here in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Our local Air Force base is Luke Air Force Base, Luke Field. This has two different versions. Got this one right here, so for the F-16D Block 42, 309th Fighter Squadron, Luke Air Force Base. Just your very basic F-16 paint scheme now. And I'm not sure if they've recently gone to just the single tone gray on the F-16s. I know in the very beginning when they moved to the gray pattern for the F-16, it was a 3-tone, then they moved to a 2-tone for forever. I know Edwards Air Force Base had special dark gray Vipers, But from what I can tell, it looks like we've gone to just a solid gray paint scheme, unless maybe that's something just special for the D models, but no, in the Air Force, probably not. But this is the one that I want to do right here. This right here is an amazing aircraft. This is F-1690-778, the MiG Killer. In 2003, during Operation, was it Desert Shield? No, Southern Watch? Yes, Operation Southern Watch. This particular aircraft actually shot down a MiG-25. This was the very first F-16 to ever shoot down a MiG. It was the first ever kill for an AMRAAM. So this little bad boy right here experienced 2 firsts for the United States, which I think is pretty awesome. Plus, it has really cool paint scheme. Even has the tail flash up there that denotes it as being a MiG killer. Even shows a little scene there of it shooting down the MiG. And to amp up the detail even further, check this out. Both of these paint schemes are from 2022, but this is an early version with a I think this is a slightly more detailed scheme of it shooting down the MiG-25. And then here is a later version. And if you go to the open houses at Luke Air Force Base, which unfortunately I missed this year's open house, but you could actually see this particular aircraft. It still operates to this day and still carries this paint scheme. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Block 42 has the Pratt & Whitney engine with the small mouth intake. So, luckily, with that Kinetic Gold kit, I can do that. And I mean, look at all these extra neat decals that I have for next time. Because, of course, this is probably not the last, well, I know it's not going to be the last F-16 and 148 scale that I build. Probably not even going to be the last F-16D from Kinetic that I build, because that's just, I don't know. I'm weird when it comes to that. But these decals are absolutely amazing. I mean, again, they're cartographed. These are just as amazing and in register as the ones that the kit came with. And here is the special decals for the MiG Killer at Luke Air Force Base, which I think is pretty cool. It's got some other decals on there too for different models. Lone Star Gunfighters. Obviously goes with the Texas Air National Guard scheme. But, anywho, I am super excited to get into this kit. Probably going to be doing this kit, I'd say it's probably like second or third in line. Next, I want to do a 148 scale Sea King from Hasegawa, the SH-3H, which I'll also do an open box for that, even though, you know, tons of people on YouTube have done it. I like to do it either way, because, again, I like to bring you guys along for the ride. So yeah, that is it. Kinetic Gold's 148 scale F-16D, with the options of being built in a block 30, 40, or 50. Throw down in the comments what you guys think. You planning on buying this kit or any one of the other Kinetic Gold kits? Personally, I would highly recommend it. I mean, Kinetic Gold seems like it's certainly way up there with Tamiya. As stated before, I haven't built a 148 scale Tamiya kit. I would like to build their F-16 kit anyway. I would like to build their 132 scale F-16 kit. But yeah, this Kinetic kit certainly seems like it's up there with it, for sure. But yeah, throw it down below. Let us all know if you folks out there are planning on picking this kit up. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. Best way to support us. Tick the bell to get a notification every single time that I do upload a video. Throw it a thumbs up if you liked it, or at least maybe found it entertaining. Until next time, guys, love you all. God bless. I will see you soon. Happy modeling.